At its heart, the Artificer is another spellcasting class, so the spells are very important. So let's get into those. Hey fellow Game Masters, I'm Richard Quiner, and welcome back to the RPG Daily, your daily dose of all things tabletop role-playing games, helping you build your world and master your game. Now today, we're continuing our series on the Artificer. We finished the Specialist, we've done the brief overview, and now we're getting into the spells, or my favorite spells, from the Artificer's list. As I go through this list, remember to let me know what you think of them in the comments below, and we'll have a discussion about spells for Artificers. Thing to remember about the Artificer, though they are spellcasters, they don't get access to the really high level spells. They cap out at level 5 spells. So, this list is a lot shorter. I am going to give you one spell for each spell level, starting with Cantrip and ending on 5th. And the idea behind these spells, I wanted to pick something that could fit in any of the Artificer's specialties. I wanted it to feel like a kind of a catch-all spell list for them. But one thing you will see is that these are mainly support. There's not a lot of damage dealing spells, and even looking at the list in general, there wasn't a ton of damage dealing spells for Artificers. So let's get into this list. For cantrips, I chose the spell Mending. Mending seems a little silly in terms of importance. It's all about fixing an item. Maybe an item is broken or torn or has a broken link in a chain, something like that. Mending can fix that. The reason I think this is so important for an Artificer is because for the Eldritch Cannon and the Steel Defender, you can use Mending to heal them. And so I think having a Mending cantrip available to you at all times, so you can heal your Steel Defender or heal your Arcane Eldritch Cannon, I think that's important and vital to the Artificer. First level spells, I picked Alarm. Now this one is very circumstantial. Its use really just depends on how the game is played. Depending on the story, it might not be as useful to you as it is to others. It really is situational. But I still like the spell and I think it's useful. How this works is you mark an area, and for the next 8 hours that area is alarmed. You can choose that alarm to be a mental notification or a actual audible notification. Either one is okay, and whenever a creature that is not allowed in that space enters it, you will get the notification. It's kind of like your cell phone on vibrate, or your little Nest doorbell ringer. Is that what it's called? Nest? A Nest is the thermostat. I don't remember what the doorbell is. Anyways, a mental notification can be reached up to a mile away, so you don't even need to be in the area, and you'll have a sensation in your mind of someone is in that area. An audible notification is heard within 60 feet of the area, and it is a chime that lasts for about 10 minutes. And it is a chime that lasts for about 10 seconds. Both have its uses. Both have, again, very circumstantial situations where they might be useful. It really depends on you how you want to use the alarm spell. For second level, I picked Magic Weapon. This one lets you give a weapon a magical property. Any mundane weapon, you can turn it into a +1 magical weapon right away. I think this is great for prepping a party against a boss fight, which some bosses have resistance to any damage that is non-magical. So I think that could come in handy, but also with its 1 action casting time, it means if you are in a fight and you realize that an enemy is resistant to non-magical weapons, you can put that on your weapon immediately. Especially if you're playing a Battlesmith, which has a boost to their magical weapon attacks by using their intelligence, you could, if you don't have a magical weapon, you could have one right away with this spell. The third level spell I picked is Dispel Magic. Again, another utility kind of spell. This one removes a third level or lower spell automatically, and if it is a higher level spell that you want to dispel, you can roll the dice to see if you will succeed. If you cast the spell at higher levels, you'll also have the chance of automatically ending higher level spells, but for the most part, a third level with a die roll, you're probably going to be pretty good. I think this spell is great for dealing with enemy spellcasters or a special magical location that could come up. And of course, it really just shows the mastery over the magic that the Artificer has. At 4th level, I picked the spell Fabricate. Now, again, another utility spell. This one, the idea was Artificers use a lot of items. You have infusions for items, you have magic item creations or spell storing items, those kind of things. With Fabricate, you can take objects like raw materials from nature and craft them into an item with a spell. Normally, you would not be able to do super detailed items unless you had the proficiency in an artisan tool that could do that object, such as jewelry if you wanted to make a nice fancy ring, you couldn't make the ring very detailed unless you were proficient in jeweler's tools and had them. But since you're an artificer, you're more likely to be proficient in all the different artificer tools or artisan tools, so you'll be able to make some really detailed items with this Fabricate. Some could even be used to swap out or recreate an item that you have to steal a real one. Maybe you recreate one to take its place in the meantime, kind of like the Indiana Jones thing. That's an option for you. That kind of thing is why I thought Fabricate could fit really well with the Artificer. And at 5th level, I picked Bigby's Hand. Now, Bigby's Hand is a super overpowered mage hand, essentially. This is a 5th level spell, so you know it's got some potent energy behind it, and it's something. The hand is considered large being bigger than a person. You can cast the hand as an action, and it lasts for 1 minute. After you've cast the hand, as a bonus action on each of your current turns, you can have it do something. You can punch a creature, you could push a creature, you can grapple a creature with it, you can get it in between you and another creature, kind of a defensive shield. It's a big enough hand that it has some energy behind it. It can actually do some work. Whereas Mage Hand is kind of like the little sissy hand that can only lift about 5 to 10 pounds, depending on the time of day and your Dungeon Master's mood. In addition to that, the hand also has a couple of its own stats that come into play. The armor class is 20. Its strength is 26. Its dexterity is only a 10, but that's to be expected from a giant hand. And its hit points, yes, it has hit points, is equal to your hit points, the spellcasters. So that's why I think this hand could be used at the 5th level spells. It's an interesting one. You could use it in a combat situation to give yourself a little extra reach if you need it. Stuff like that, I think, is what makes this hand useful. Looking over these lists, I thought these could fit into any of the Artificer's tool bags. I think they're just that good of spells, so I hope you agree, but let me know if you disagree in the comments below. What are your favorite Artificer spells? Let's have a discussion about it. I've been Richard, thanks for watching.